All right, today on the grid, it is Blind Photo Critique Day, the day where we crush the dreams and hopes of photographers all over the world. The real Rocket Man's here, and he's ready to do some crushing as well. We've got some lovely, lovely giveaways, and it all starts in just 21.3 seconds. Let's go!
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another live episode of The Grid. It must be Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Wednesday.
Yeah, 1:02.
It's 1:02 o'clock. It must be Wednesday, a few minutes late. Welcome, everybody. Scott Kelby here with Mr. Erik Kuna, the real Rocket Man.
Yep, I'm here.
He's here. He's here. Well,
I'm here.
He's hanging in there. All right, so today's Blind Photo Critique Day. We have asked our viewers to send in three of their best images. Three of their best images. We're going to critique them. We don't know their names. That's why they're called Blind Photo Critique. So all the images are just named Grid 1, Grid 2, Grid 3.
Unless you watermark them.
If you watermark them, then everybody knows who they are. But anyway, we're going to look at your images. We're going to give brief critiques, and we're going to give honest critiques. So that's why we asked not to use your name, because we don't want to embarrass anybody, but we want to.
Well, especially because we're doing this where we can't actually interact one-on-one.
Right.
Like on a one-on-one critique, I mean, I know your name, you know my name. Like and there's an exchange of information.
Right.
Like this blind, it's because they're submitting, and we're just going to look at it as an honest critique of how we look at it.
We don't know anything else. We're just judging them on their own merit and all that
Which
stuff.
sometimes that is the best, because that's how people judge your photography. You know?
And also it's very hard to get an honest, unbiased critique, because people, they don't want to say anything bad to you.
Friends and family especially.
Yeah, they don't. And your friends are never going to say, hey, look, your stuff's not very good, right? So, but,
Especially your family.
Especially your family. Your family thinks your stuff is awesome.
Yes.
So, anyway, that's what we're doing today. A couple quick things. First off, we mentioned this last week. Erik, Kuna, and I are doing a travel photography workshop in New York City.
New York City!
Yep, it is coming up May 3rd through 6th. Does that sound about right?
Yes, it does.
There's a pause there, but May 3rd through 6th in New York, we have got a lot of neat surprises and special things planned, and it's going to be an incredible workshop.
Trust me, we do. And the other thing is, Scott and I mean, this is one of our favorite cities
our towns,
to shoot.
Baby.
Like, this is one of our favorites.
My family is from New York.
Well, my favorite's upstate New York as well. I mean, we go to New York City.
My family's from the city.
I know, you're from the city. I'm from
the city.
But still, it's just it's a great city to shoot in. And
it is one of the most amazing cities to shoot in the world. And there's just New York has it all, and we've got some very unique things that we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time. You're going to come home with some amazing pictures. So that is coming up. It's limited to just 12 folks, and we only have a few spots left.
So grab them.
Grab them and come with us in May. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a great hotel and a great location. We've got lovely meeting rooms as well. So we'll be shooting at dawn. We'll be shooting at dusk. We'll be shooting in the day. We'll be doing a lot of post-processing stuff. We're going to have a very busy time. I try to tell people about these workshops. It's not a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a workshop. We're going all the time. It's go, go, go time. So it's but
you're going to learn the process that we go through. That's the process.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. Excuse me. Go to ScottKelbyWorkshops.com. Now, if you can't go and you're like, oh, I can't go or whatever, get on the newsletter or early notice mailing list. So just go sign up at the very bottom of the page. There's a little place where you sign up, and you'll find out before the public has a chance to buy tickets. So you'll get first shot at it after the people that have already been to one of my workshops. So you're next in line. What else? London will be coming up in September, so if you want to, when tickets come available for that, I'm already selling tickets. London's going to be gone fast. I haven't even opened it yet, and I have people calling me, save me a ticket, just save me one.
And then we also have you're going to be at the Outsiders Photography Conference coming up.
I am.
This is really soon,
10 days.
Yeah,
right?
next
like that.
week, Well, not
It's
the
March,
end of next week. Yeah,
beginning of March,
Out
in Utah, in Kanab, Utah. Where it's going to be a great conference. That's it right there, the Outsiders Conference. They've got so many great instructors and stuff. And it's going to be out there. You can go in person or you can do the virtual version. But go in person. It's going to be amazing. Oh, I have a $100 off coupon. Seriously, I got $100 off. Let me get you the code. Hold on.
Oh,
Don't
awesome.
move.
Yeah.
I know. I got a code. I have a code of conduct. Hold on.
And now, if you want to go on the other side, the dark side of it, I'll be in Kanab, Utah, just a few months later at the Nightscapers Conference.
All right,
this is the dark side.
This is a hard discount code. Kelby,
Okay.
Kelby 100.
Oh, it's on Scott's screen. There you
Kelby
go.
100. That's the code. So use it. You save $100 off. Kelby 100. That's it right there. Yeah. Kelby 100.
There we go.
Live it, love it.
And that's coming up really soon, next week.
Yeah, March 3rd through 5th. Is it next week?
The week after.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I was about to say, oh no.
Not like next week.
I got to get ready.
Well, it's the end of next week, technically.
No, that's right. I leave, I
the
think,
end.
next Friday.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you can join us. What else do we have going on? The iPhone Photography Conference.
Yeah.
So we have an entire conference coming up just for people who want to take their iPhone photography seriously, and that is becoming a wider group of people every single day. So,
well, and it's amazing what they can do, and you can see all we've had a lot of interest not only from attendees, but a lot of the professional photographers out there are using these devices as well, and that's why they're teaching on this, because we're all using these in our workflows, actually using these as professional tools. So, I mean, check it out. It's at the end of March, so go sign up over there at kelby1live.com. If you can't go on those dates, you also get the full thing rebroadcast, so you can go to the conference. Even if you don't attend every session, you will get a recording for a whole year of every session that we have at the conference.
yep. All right, you ready to go, Mr. K?
Yeah,
you got a
let's do
timer
this.
out? Let's go, and let's. We're going to look at a variety of different images. Remember, we asked for 3 of folks' best images, and let's go ahead and take a look at the first one right here.
All right.
There's number 1.
Okay.
And number 2. And number 3.
I mean, they're not bad.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. You know, you kind of look at it and like, what that one? I mean, it's like, what is the subject in them, right?
I know, and that's
Yeah.
what the problem is here.
Like, what is
so? There's no problems with exposure or anything like that.
like-
but there is a serious kind of lack of what the
What
subject
it?
is.
What is it?
Am I looking at the pier? Am I looking at the boats? It's just not a very. It's just kind of like you're documenting that you were standing there, and you got some nice
Yeah.
clouds.
Yeah, that's it. You had a nice clouds. You came out at a right time of day. It looked
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
but there's not like a prominent like story, subject, leading line. There's nothing compositional.
This is the only one of the 3 that that has a chance.
Yes, this one does. The window there that leads you in.
You kind of have this little doorway in which you're shooting from. It looks like it's in maybe Tokyo, or it could be just a what you call it, Japanese garden someplace.
Yeah.
But you've got all these gaps up here. You know, I would fill in those gaps.
I was thinking the same
just
thing.
clone in some something so it doesn't look so bad. But it's just kind of at the end of the day, you're like, it's all right.
It's got potential.
It has
I think
potential.
It has a lot of potential. If you're
But-
seeing the potential, I
Yeah.
think you're seeing the potential.
And so I think what Erik said is right. You're shooting at like the right time of day, which is nice. But outside of that, there's just not much going on. I mean, what is this?
This is the one that like it is just like I was there.
I
This
was
is kind
there,
of like
I'm
I'm
documenting.
This is a picture. You know, when I take these pictures, I'll be out somewhere. My wife's not there, or my daughter's not there, and say, "Hey, here's where I'm at. It's beautiful, isn't it?" And it's just like send them a, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah, I'm here, and the sky
Not
was
like
pretty.
what is the thing about this picture?
Yeah,
There's-
what is the subject, by the way? And you can't just say, hey, it's all of it. It's the scene. What am I looking at? Like, what am I even looking at? So here's the thing. You're capable of taking good pictures.
Yeah, now we just need
You're
to add one
shooting
thing.
in good light and stuff, but you just need some. There's a serious lack of vision It's not a lack of camera technique. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing with my camera. It is a serious lack of, what am I looking at? So
Can you do something with that picture right there?
what's that?
Go up to the camera raw filter. Go into masking and hit select subject.
Oh,
Do you see how it kind of didn't pick up anything?
It doesn't know what to
It kind of selected a little bit of those buildings because it's like, maybe. But if select subject works and it lights up bright red around the subject, okay, the computer even saw what my subject is. The AI even saw what the subject
AI
is.
has no idea what your
just
subject
going,
is.
I don't know. And that's actually a good trick if you're like in your photography and you're like, is this a really like prominent subject? Like, I think that one would pick up the building if you did it.
Yeah, I probably would.
I think it would.
Yeah, I think it certainly would. Let's go see. Because this one has, this is the only one that has a somewhat clear subject. Let's go hit select subject. Yeah.
Yep. Boom. And that's what you
Yeah.
wanted to have it because we immediately, both of us went, the subject is that. I could see it picking up the boat. I could see it picking up
Which
the boat.
boat?
I don't know though.
Maybe
it's
both
probably
boats.
going to pick up both of them. But then
You
it's
don't
not
know
so
because-
prominent.
And that's another thing about when you have two subjects.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, which one am I
Three would be
supposed
better.
to look at? Three would be better. Let's go to select subject.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes the boat and it takes the pylons too.
Because
All
it's
right.
not really sure.
Yeah, it's not really sure because it's
There you
not
go.
a really good shot. All right. But I don't want to discourage you because
Yes.
you're capable of taking
Yes.
good shots. Your problem is really subject. You don't really have a subject. You're missing a subject. Even the computer doesn't know what your subject is.
And when it does, it's not prominent enough in the frame.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're on the right track though. Just do those little things.
All right.
Hey, the one thing before we go on, we gotta have we got giveaways.
Giveaways. What are we giving away today?
We love giveaways. Yeah. So first, we're going to be giving away a Platypod disc, which I am very familiar with disc lately, but I love these Platypod discs. They're great because they can go on any way on your tripod. It's just a disc that goes on it's a plate for the bottom of your camera.
Yeah, but it's round, which is
round,
nice.
so it can mount anywhere, and it has a level on it too. So
Yep.
it's really nice. So check that, or you can win that in the comments. You can also win Scott's travel photography book. So if you're wanting to do any travel, just you can enter the contest for that. You can go check that out over on Amazon right there. Woo! And then the Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It book. We're going to give you this away. This is brand new, just out. You're going to be getting a print copy of that, and that you can go buy right now and have it shipped right to you. So there you go. There's only 9 left in stock, so you better order soon because then they're going to have to restock. So there you go.
Hey.
All right. And then we're giving away one V-Flat from V-Flat World. That is for US only. You can actually go over to their site and use Kelby 10 at checkout to get 10% off as well. Everybody can do that.
Nice.
And that's it.
On One Effects 2023.
Well, we're going to be giving On One Effects
Oh.
for the trivia question.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a photography trivia question later. We have Lightroom tip today. We have a Photoshop tip today. We got all that stuff today.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Nice picture. Got a nice picture coming up. Here we go. Look at that.
I could tell from just the glance.
Well, isn't that nice? That's
Nice.
beautiful.
Oh,
And then look at this though. Hummingbird. Nice hummingbird.
yes.
Nice hummingbird. Lightning.
But it's
I mean,
nice
it's
lightning.
It is. It's well
It's
done
nice
lightning.
lightning.
That's some serious lightning.
Like, it's a nice. It's a nice shot. It's the hummingbirds are.
The hummingbirds
shots.
are.
You got that on. You got that mastered.
But you know what it is? You don't often get to see lightning frozen like that.
No,
So
and not in that
kinda
wideness
Yeah.
pattern, and then seeing the streaks. The light.
It's just. I don't find it nearly as interesting as I do those
I
hummingbirds.
agree.
The
I
hummingbirds
agree.
are very nice.
That's one where the subject is the lightning bolts,
Yeah.
and that's all that picture is
Yeah.
lightning bolts.
But these are lovely. Just lovely, especially that one. I think that one's
yeah.
really that's an
Look
outstanding.
at the detail. Like,
I know, and you still have a little movement in the wings and
Yeah.
all.
Even seeing the
and
tips.
hummingbirds are small. We have hummingbirds that come out our window
yeah,
every day.
little.
They are tiny, tiny, tiny.
This is hard. Like,
Oh yeah, this takes a lot of
is hard.
patience and all that stuff. All right, so
But
anyway,
these
nicely,
are things
these
that I
are
love to
nice.
shoot
Very,
for
very nice.
practice. I love to shoot stuff like that for practice. 'Cause it
Very,
gets you
very
better.
nice.
Yeah, I love those.
Lovely, lovely.
Let's just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep it up. All right, now this is interesting. I saw these when I was putting these together here earlier. All right, so this is a really good shot. It shows motion. You've got wheel spin. You know, because that's the thing. A lot of times you'll see in motorsports and stuff, you have frozen wheels, right? But they got. Well,
motion. they even have the motion in the background, the blur in the background. I mean, this is done right as far. I think it's just a little too bright on that one side.
Yeah, over
I'd
here.
probably bring the light more towards him.
You could certainly darken it. Yeah,
yeah, you could do some post processing to that.
Yeah, and what you could do, a real quick way to do that, and this is an underutilized feature, is to go to the masking tools, go to linear gradient.
That's what I would have done too. Yeah,
darken it and just kind of go over that away.
Yeah,
just that side over there is not helping you. So
just suck that light.
Yeah. So, but that's a pretty easy fix. But anyway, I think that's a really, really nice shot. Here's another action shot, right? Look at that.
Action.
Now, would I have liked to have a little more blurring on the background? Yes, I would have liked some more separation. Now,
I wonder if you could do that in post.
I was just going to say
there's
there
that
is
neuro
a thing
filter
called the neuro filters.
I use this,
and there is one called depth blur that's in beta.
It works good sometimes.
Sometimes it's tremendous.
Sometimes it's tremendous.
Look
like
at
that.
Like that.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
You just went to f2.8.
Yeah,
look
how much better that is. Look how much better that is. Where's my before and after?
That is like night and day.
Look at that.
It got a little bit of the ball, which you could mask out.
Oh yeah.
You know?
So here's what you would do. Let's do it right then. You would duplicate the layer, then go ahead and let's run.
This one's going to become a hero.
Then do the knurl. Let's go to depth blur. Give it a sec.
And
then
I just bought an expensive lens.
Click OK. Then what you're going to do is click on the layer mask tool.
Yep.
Or the layer mask button. Get the brush tool with hopefully a smaller brush.
Yep.
And we're just going to paint over the ball.
And look at that.
To bring it back.
It's like boom.
And you got to do a little better job there.
You just got a $10,000 lens.
Yeah, wow! You just bought an expensive lens. I'd do a better job than I'm doing here. But anyway, you get the idea. That does. Looks like
you could get in there and just do a selection rather than a brush.
Yeah. You're right. That's right. Using the brush was a dumb move here.
Well, but there's a million different ways to do it.
Yeah. Let me just do that real quick, just for fun. Let's go right in here. That's a little too big.
A little too big.
Something like that. You might want to blur it just a hair.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway, you could get it better than I just did. But yeah. So that's it. Now, here comes the weird thing.
But if you turn that on and off, I mean,
what's
that
this?
Was huge.
What's this?
I have no idea.
That really seems out of left field. It's like really good sports shot with a little knurl.
Well, that one almost looks like it's so low res. What happened there?
It's very, very tiny. So that's its actual size, right? Actual size is right there. So it just seems out of character.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know what to say about that.
I don't even know what to say about it. It's not very exciting.
I almost think that was like an error in uploading or something.
I
hope.
I think your sports stuff is really good.
Do more sports.
Do more sports. That's the answer. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Seems so far so good.
Yeah. That's quite a nice shot.
Yeah.
I like the fog along the line, and the dock adds a lot of interest, and you've got some nice leading lines. I kind of like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Nicely done. Good color and everything.
Well, that sun being just touch. Oh, there's a sun
there's
touching.
Another F-22 sun there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
my
least favorite.
That's my least favorite too, and it's kind of a little cooked on the edges there on the top. You can see like that gradient, kind of like weirdness.
But obviously, very good photographer. That's my favorite. I think that's lovely, and this is very nice as well.
Yeah,
and good job. I mean, it's really. I don't have a whole lot to tell you. But those are beautiful. And went to the wrong place. Let's see what else we got over here.
And I think after this one, we got to take a break.
Yeah, we will. Oh, what happened here? All right, so ignore it. No, it's okay. All right, let's see what we got.
Ooh, interesting.
That has a very nice painterly look to it.
Yeah.
All right, and
I think you could clean up, but
That's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really very nice.
That's cool.
The way he's, extending his wings.
And then looking back and you see the eyes. Because usually you wouldn't see the eyes. Like,
right. No, the way he's
flying
looking.
away. Yeah.
And this is kind of like a fine art still life, but it's got some motion to it, a little magic. The only thing I would say is of these, they're all very nice, very nice. This one here, to me, looks overexposed.
Yeah, I'd bring it down now.
Here's what I would do. Let's just go over here to the camera raw filter. I would think you need to do a couple of things. Number one is bring the exposure down. Let me make sure that my thing's at the right brightness. All right, maybe bring the contrast up, but it really needs like some darkening on the edges. I'm going to go down to effects and just bring the vignetting over a little. And now you may have added a brighter edge on the, but I don't think it looks good. I think that's, maybe I went a little too dark on it. Let me bring the dark.
Now that you darken the edges, I think you got to just bring up the exposure. And right.
There. It's also a tad crooked.
Yeah, it is a tad crooked.
It is a tad crooked.
Now that we've brought it down, we're looking at it.
I think it even needs to come over just a little bit more, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And then recrop it. But these are lovely. These are very, very nice. So nice job on these. Well done, you. All right, now we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got our first tip, which is a Lightroom tip. And we've got a lot more images to look at. So stick around. We'll be right back here on The Grid.
Hi, I'm Mary Bell. Come join me in my new class on creative portrait photography using outdoor light. Have you ever struggled with using midday sun to light your portraits and light your subject? I'm going to show you some creative ways in which you can play with midday harsh sun. We're also going to play with using architecture in your frame to frame your subjects and or to make beautiful fine artwork. We'll use leading lines, play with composition. We will hide from the sun, show you creative ways to use midday sun. Additionally, we're also going to dance around with some creative ways to use golden hour sun. And guess what, guys? In this class, we're going to combine harsh midday sun with diffuse light. So come join me now and watch my new class on Kelby1.com.
Hey folks, Kirk Nelson here from the Pixel Pro. I am back at Kelby One Studios with a fantastic course. This is a collection of some of the best quick and easy Photoshop tricks that you can find. I'm talking about really cool tricks that you can do in less than 10 minutes each. We're doing some neon text. We're doing some glowing matrix style raining binary numbers. We're doing this really cool photo sketch effect you really just gotta see to believe. We're digging into some of the newer features in Photoshop like the neural filters or abusing the camera raw filter, how it's probably not supposed to be. We're having a ton of fun. We're doing a lot of cool effects. They're really easy and you can do it too. Join me here at Kelby1.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we are back. And you know what it's time for, Eric? A Lightroom tip. Well, look how look at that.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a beat.
Boom. Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. All right. So we have a Lightroom tip. You know, now every show we do a Lightroom tip, a Photoshop tip, and a photography trivia tip. This one, we're going to take a look on the image on screen. We're in Lightroom.
Maybe.
Let's say that again. Take a look at the image on screen.
Oh,
There
it is.
Okay.
Hey, I've been there.
Yeah, you were with me there when we took this shot. All right. So we're going to create a dramatic beam of light. Now, you can create many beams if you're in a forest or something, but I'm going to pretend like, this is a beam of light coming in from a window up there. And this is shockingly easy to do because of a feature that you may not realize is there. So we're going to go to the masking tool. We're going to go to the brush tool. All right, now, here's the thing, is there's 2 brushes. There's actually an A brush and a B brush. So you can switch between brushes. Now, a lot of people will like to have their B brush be a hard edge and the A brush be a soft edge. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to make our A brush a small brush and our B brush a big brush. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Start with the A. Make sure that your feather is at 100%. So you're doing a very, very soft beam. Now, you don't have to start at 100. You could do like 25 or 50 and have it start with a harder beam and go to a softer beam. But we're just going to have it be all soft. Pick where you want your beam to start. So I'm going to use a very small brush and we'll click right maybe up here. All right, now that's with the A brush. Then you're going to go to the B brush. You're going to make your size much larger. Pick a spot where you want the beam to end. But here's the key. Hold the shift key. So here's what's going to happen. If you can put the camera back on me real quick. What's going to happen is this. You're going to click. By holding shift, it's going to draw a straight beam. But because you're switching between a small brush and a big brush, it's going to be a small beam that goes to a bigger beam, like a real beam.
That's
all right.
how a beam of
So
light goes.
I click the small beam. I'm going to hold the shift key. I'm going to click the larger beam, and it draws the beam of light. Now, it draws in red only to tell you where the mask is. So then you would go in here, the exposure, and you would decide how bright you want your beam and all that stuff. So you can just add a beam of light to. It looks good in forests and different things.
Yeah.
It's. I don't think it's the ultimate in this particular picture. I don't know. I'm not sure where I aimed it is that great.
Well, but you could have it to where like it's coming through a light source or a window or.
Yeah, I was looking for a window. So what you could do here, let's try it again. If that's the first time you've seen it, let's just go to brush. We'll go to the A brush. Let's say that it came from here, and it's going to. Let's switch to B. Maybe over here. So it looks like it's coming. I made that second one too large. So you could have it coming in from a window like that.
Yeah.
And I actually think I would make my beam a little further down, and not that bright. I'm over exaggerating it so you can kind of see where the beam is.
Yeah,
at.
you want it to be subtle.
Yeah, you want it to be. You don't want to draw so much attention to it that you're like, hey, is that beam real?
Well, then you could change the color temperature of the beam, anything you want to do.
Oh, yeah. I think what I'm going to do, though, is let's go do an AB over here. It's so easy. Once you've got it set up, let's have it come this way.
Yeah.
And then the B brush, let's not make it so big. Let's make it smaller. And I'll have it go over here. And then, now it's kind of beaming. I like that one better. It's kind of.
Yeah, and you can match it on the other side if you want.
Yeah, you could have double like it's laser beams.
Yeah.
See, now I think that one needs to be wider on the other end.
Yeah.
Hey, here's okay. Let's do this. No, one more time. Come on, just. I'm going to go down with the
cool
A.
Lightroom
All right, the A brush is way smaller.
Yeah.
And the B brush is actually going to be bigger.
Larger. Yeah.
All right, here we go. So we're going to go from A. Click once, hold shift, go to B, and there we go. All right. And there you have a glorious beam of light beaming in.
Nice.
And it's all done in Lightroom, which is not where you'd expect to do that.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, thank you. That's our Lightroom tip of the day. What?
That click and then shift click to draw straight lines changes your life.
It
changes
does.
your
It's
life.
a life changer, especially when you're doing things like removing telephone lines and stuff like that. It's a killer.
Lifesaver.
Okay, let's get back to our critique, shall we? Oh, wait, I've got news.
Yes.
Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I'm doing a book chat. So for this book right here, this book that just came out, it's now available in stores and all that. So when I launch a new book, we do this thing called a book chat, and it's really a lot of fun where I talk about what's in the book and I do demos from the book and stuff. And if it's a Lightroom thing, I do Lightroom tips. If it's an iPhone thing, I do iPhone tips. But this book is all about, for those of you who don't know what this book is, let me take a moment to tell you, shall we? So this book is called Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It, and I did 13 or 14 different shoots. And each one is to teach you a different lighting look. Some are done in the studio, some are done on location. It's all done with just flash. No studio lights needed. And here's the interesting thing about this book. So it starts off with the grid of the shots that I took, and then you can see which one I chose to be the final. So that's the final. Then we do an overhead shot. You actually see, there it is. You actually see the overhead photo. Can you zoom in on that?
And that one, that's the magic one for me.
Yeah, the overhead shot. And then I describe exactly what was used, what flash, what power, what softbox. Then we have 4 different sides, front, back, side, and all,
great.
And the measurements from each light to the ground, how high it was, how far it was from the subject, how far the camera is from the subject, how far the subject is from the background. It's all measured. We measured every single one of them. Then it goes through the camera settings, what we use for a backdrop, and the entire retouch from beginning to end until you come up with the final image. So whatever had to be done in the whole thing, we go through the entire thing. Now, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, when we do this book chat, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to do 2 live shoots during the book chat with one of the models from the book.
That's
so
awesome.
we're going to be in the studio over there. We're going to be broadcasting it live, and we're going to do the whole live shoot, and I'm going to explain it just like the book explains it. And my publisher has got a deal on these. I'm going to go and tell them what the deal is, right?
Yeah, might as well.
You ready? The print book, $20.
No.
I kid you not. 57% off list. It's
What?
a $44 book. It's $44.
Are you sure they're not like
They're selling the ebook for $15. They're selling both the print book and the ebook as a bundle for $25. Now, but it only happens tomorrow. They're going to give a code. I'm doing giveaways too. I have got some really nice giveaways for tomorrow as well. So I got giveaways. We got ridiculous deals. We got live shoots done in the studio tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. It's live, right?
And if you want to get updated on this stuff, best way to do this is to go over to facebook.com/skelby. Go to twitter.com.
Follow me on Twitter.
Follow on Twitter.
Kelby.
And even in Follow Kelby 1, we'll be talking about it as well. So if you ever want to know about these things, if you're following us or, just part of the Kelby 1 community or our newsletter list, you'll find out about this stuff.
But the book chats are a lot of fun. They're very casual, and it's just a lot of fun. And you learn about the book and why it's interesting, and then they give you just a ridiculous deal on it. Okay, let's go and critique some more photos. Hey, by the way, we're going to be broadcasting that on my Facebook page tomorrow, right? It'll be broadcast on my Facebook page at skelby, and then also on YouTube. And on the Kelby 1 member site.
On the member site, yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at these images. Here we go. Right?
Right.
Right. So, well, here's the thing. I really like what you're doing as far as what you're attempting to do. And I think you're pulling off a lot of it. For example, I think this first shot is the strongest one. You've kind of the way you've cropped it is
Yeah.
really interesting. You're using very, very flat post processing. So Eric, you have to look at it on my screen versus our studio screen.
Yeah, I
So-
see what you're. I always judge that on that screen as being a little bit.
Yeah, our studio screen's very dark and very
it's-
contrasty,
it just
but
has a lot more punch.
yeah.
That one.
So I like it, and it's gritty,
Yeah.
and I like his look, and I like your post processing. I think
And the
that's
split. Yeah, I mean,
that's
it's
very
just-
well
it
done.
just-
We're
wow.
going to come back to this one.
flashy
This
one?
one's kind of good too. Unfortunately, he's walking in front of that old truck, I think it is, or an old bus or something,
Yeah.
and there's so much brightness being pulled away from him. Like I'm looking at, instead of looking at him, which is where I think you want me to look, I'm sucked into the headlight on the left
Yep.
and the grill. So unfortunately, it's kind of competing with him. What I would have liked to have seen is that background blurrier. Wait, what? Wait.
Let's see.
Go
See if-
turn on depth
Let's see if
blur.
you got a lens upgrade.
It's still processing it. It didn't do much.
Didn't do much.
Now you can change,
change
the blur strength. It takes a second though. But it didn't do much of anything.
Yeah.
You might have to do this manually because it doesn't seem like it's doing much of
Yeah.
anything.
You could do a manual selection and do like
Yeah,
a
well, you
lens
could,
blur.
You could do, it's still doing it. All right, you could do select subject, put it up on his own layer, go to lens blur, which is the closest you're going
Low-
to get. It's
yeah.
not as good as that other one, but
It's
you
the-
could
it's the
go
second
to-
best.
It's the second best.
Yep.
Blur that background a lot more. I think that would help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as good as the other one, but it does give some much
That
needed separation. Yeah,
And now you could, with that separation, lower the highlights on the background.
yeah. Now
layer.
you can just go to the background layer and drop the highlights, so you're not getting so much juice on that. And then
And now you might be able to
maybe
open up some of his
brighten
face.
his
Yeah.
faces. But I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
So all right now.
The flashy
This
one.
Okay, it's not just flashy, but here's the thing. Normally when I see this kind of shot, it makes the player look very big. Mm-hmm. He looks very young. He doesn't look menacing.
it's
He doesn't
like,
look tough. And you can tell he's ripped like I am. So, he's obviously probably goes the same gym I go to, but he just looks like a kid. You're not pulling this one off. Now, part of it could be you need to get lower to make him look bigger.
menacing. Yeah, to get lower.
Yeah, it's just not happening. And maybe you could spray him with some water to get some sweat going. Maybe you could make it look grungier. It's like the whole thing's too clean.
Well, and there's also the technique of with these shots that a lot of times it's about side lighting or rim lighting.
yeah, some edge lighting.
like
would really
edge
make it
lighting. Yeah, I mean
different.
that stuff kind of cuts the muscles, cuts the equipment.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
just doesn't look grungy enough. One thing that would help on it, this is going to be simple, but it's not going to get you there, but it's to lower the vibrance a bit and then maybe raise the clarity. You kind of need to almost grunge it up a little
grunge
bit.
it up.
Because
And-
it's missing that, and the helmet's a little...
And then now you could tone
dark.
down the neck and the arms to kind of bring it up to the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, it's just, you could do that with a graduated...
Yeah, exactly.
What you could do is this. Get the linear gradient, darken it up a bit. That's too much.
Yeah, you're just doing for example.
Yeah, something like that. But it's just, he doesn't have a menacing look, and I think that you're trying to make him look tough. He's a football player. He's got pads on. The pads even look small.
Yep.
Like he doesn't have that big look, Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Don't move. Don't breathe. And Eric,
Well, you know
stall
what?
for a second.
We've got a bunch of people joining us, tuning in. We've got Carl saying hello from Costa Rica, and then we have Nina join us from Pennsylvania. We have Steve from Baton Rouge, and then we have Pauline saying hi, all from Maine. Willie saying hi from snowy Colorado. Let's see, all the way from Brazil is Guilherme. And then Sonia is from Austin joining us. Roger, from the OC. Barbara joining from a blizzard in South Dakota. And speaking of South Dakota, I'll be in South Dakota this summer doing a Milky Way workshop. Great place if you're out in South Dakota for dark size. And then Mike G is joining us from Ohio. And then Mary Bell's in the chat saying hi. So, hey Mary
Doug,
Bell.
Doug is watching this for the first time from London.
Oh, yeah. Awesome,
Let's
Doug.
go.
All right.
All right, let's take a
So
look
there
on
we
screen.
go. Yeah.
This is a high schooler. He's high school, but he looks big.
Yep.
He looks
And menacing.
big. And menacing and big. And he's not. He's the nicest, kindest.
Yeah.
He is the greatest guy in person.
I remember meeting him.
He was such a gentleman and so soft-spoken and all this kind of stuff. We sprayed him with water. But he looks big and, it's like he's a high school kid. I'd hate to line up against him.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, you're looking for that bigness and you're losing that bigness in this shot. He looks like a little kid.
Yeah.
So you can shoot this and make him look a lot bigger and more aggressive. It's break time.
Yeah, we got to take a break.
All right, there we go.
The network's calling.
The network's calling. It's break time. Stick around. We got a lot more images to look at.
There are so many genres of photography where you're locked out of getting the good shots. Like you can't get close and you can't get into that special area. The pros can get there. They have special access and stuff. But you know what the great equalizer is? Air shows. Air shows are exploding for photographers. They love it because you can get right down in front. You got the same access. You can come back with shots that will absolutely blow everybody away. That's what I love about shooting air shows.
Yeah, in this class, what we're going to do is we're going to break down all that stuff that you need to know to shoot your first air show, like the settings, how to program your camera, what lenses, what bodies you need. And then we're going to get to the important stuff like composition and framing, where we're going to break down all that for you so you can be a master the first time you go out and shoot your show.
We're going to show you how to shoot jets, how to shoot props, how to shoot the statics. When you come back, your shots are going to look like a pro's. So come and check out our brand new class exclusively at Kelby One. Let me ask you a question. Where's the best place to do your post-processing for the travel images that you shot on your phone? I'm telling you where it's at. It's poolside. That's the thing. You're still on vacation. You're enjoying yourself. You're having a great time. You're like, I'm going to take a few hours off. I'm going to chill out by the pool and I'm going to edit my photos. And that's what we're going to do in part 2 of my class on shooting your travel photography with an iPhone. So in part 1, we took the shots. In part 2, we're going to bring them into Lightroom. Actually, they're already in Lightroom, but I'll tell you how to do all that automatically. And then we're going to go through the whole post-processing steps right on your phone or right on your tablet, whichever one you're using Lightroom. It's going to rock. Everything's going to be synced back and ready to go. When you get home, all your images are there. They're done. You're having a great time. And it all happens in real time because you're by the pool editing your images in Lightroom. I hope you'll check out part 2 of my class on using the iPhone for your travel photography.
Hey guys, I'm Tuvi and I'm going to show you 2 really cool products that we at VFlat World sell. So the first one is our Duo boards, which are double-sided hyper-realistic backdrops for food and product photographers. They come in 2 sizes. This is the larger side. We have all different types of textures and designs. These are some of the new ones that came out recently. And they also, there's a bag option available for them. And our other product, which is what we actually started the company with, it's called a V-flat. It's a foldable V-flat, and it's used for portrait and studio photographers to control light on their subjects, to either add light with the white side or use the black side to subtract light, or even block like an unwanted window light coming in.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
All right,
Hey,
we're back.
We're back. I'm going to go get the picture we're going to do for my Photoshop tip. Eric and I are just sitting here chatting about air shows and stuff.
Yeah, we saw the air show thing.
Well, gosh,
you know,
it's Photoshop
that's the whole
tip
thing. It's like we're getting geared up because we're about 1 month away from our first big air show, which is Sun and Fun. So both Scott and I, we do like a lot of the staff photography stuff with them. And so when we saw that commercial, we were like, oh man, so excited, so fun. And it has been it was really fun to do that class, because I think a lot of people realized, I don't know, actually the light's over there. Now I'm supposed to look over here. All right. So a lot of people realized that when they saw the class that an air show looks like it might be elusive to get these shots that you see, like well, you know, look at my screen, like these, like, you know, shot like this, or shot like this, or this was shot in an air show. This was shot in an air show.
Really, the plane was shot in an air show?
Yeah, these are all shot in an air show,
That's
right?
awkward.
But when you look at it, right, the gear to shoot an air show, the gear to enter, the barrier to entry is really, are you a telephoto action photographer? If you're a wildlife photographer, if you're a bird photographer, wildlife photographer, you shoot any kind of motion, shoot sports at a distance, anything like that, we all have gear that allows us to shoot these different things. And it's a great activity to do, again, if you shoot something else, to practice. That's why a lot of times I do wildlife, is just to practice techniques and panning techniques that I then apply to other styles of my photography, like aviation and aerospace. You know, so that's where you get into it, and you're kind of like, you know, it isn't sometimes that I need to learn just what I'm interested in. It is really nice to kind of learn those kind of things that sit alongside of what you like to do, so you can bring over techniques from all these different places. And that's what's great about learning like this, you know, where we can see other people's work, even on the critiques here, where we can see other people, how they're shooting, how they're working.
You're doing a good job stalling.
And I'm stalling, and I see I'm still trying here, but you know, hey, you know, that's the thing, and that's why we do what we do.
All right, I'm almost there.
You can definitely join us. Join us next month. We'll be at Sun and Fun. If you see people in white vests, if you see a white vest with a 42 on the back of it, that will be me.
Yep, and if you see a white vest with a big 0 on it, that's me.
That's him.
All right, so I got a Photoshop tip for you. It's actually well, give me 1 second. Hold on. Don't move. I want to pull up one other image, because I'm going to, oh God, it started.
Hey, you know what? Before we do the tip, I got one comment that came in here that I'd like to read. This is a comment said from Pauline said, I'd like to thank Scott and Kelby One for the tracks and books on the Lightroom Classic module. I learned a lot, and I am almost finished an album for a friend who recently lost their German Shepherd dog. I had tons of photos of taken out on hikes, and Scott and his books taught me so much.
Oh, so, very nice.
And we love hearing that, because that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Right? So.
All right, I have a tip. I'm ready to go. Now, this is like
Photoshop tip.
We already did it. Okay, it's a couple of different tips, and you'll see. All right, take a look on screen. All right, so we have an iPhone, and that is a photo taken on an iPhone right there. All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Step one is, well, first off, I'm going to give you a mind-blowing trick up front. All right.
Mind-blowing.
And you may not. This is one that you may not know about.
You blow my mind all the time with this Photoshop stuff.
I think you're going to know this. But you may not.
Okay.
You know about Select Subject.
Yes.
And Select Subject works pretty well.
It does.
What if I could show you a trick that would make it work like twice as good?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Do you know what it is?
Let's do it.
All right. So, you know, you can go under the Select menu, and you can choose Select Subject, right? And it didn't do a very good job here, because this is two subjects. The phone is one subject.
It's having a hard time. It's going, I think it's the screen. Yeah.
But this is leading up to the tip. But I'm going to give you a super tip in the way there. Okay. So it works okay.
Yeah.
If you want it to work amazing, do not go up here and choose Select Subject.
I think I know what you're going to do.
And don't go to Camera Raw.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
I think you're going to go over to the side, and you're going to hit.
Yes. All right. He knows.
Where it selects, it will let you. Object selection tool. Is that what it's called?
No.
What is it?
No, it's better than that.
What is it?
Ready? go to choose any one of the selection tools, and you have a button for select subject, right? If you want unbelievable results from it, go to the right next to it. There's an arrow, and it says you can go to the cloud and get better results.
Oh my goodness.
So if you're connected to the internet, and you know you are,
Oh, if I'm editing, I'm definitely, yeah.
right, you're going to go and choose cloud. You cannot believe how much better it does.
What?
It is shocking.
All right, you blew my mind.
So I don't know how it's going to do on this. I'm going to hit it here and just see. Well, and now it's going to the cloud. Oh, it didn't do anything. But I want to open another photo
you
that
gave
would
it
actually.
a really hard task. You gave it 2 subjects.
Yeah,
to
because
select.
this isn't the trick.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, we gotta
for
try
select
that.
subject. All right. Now, in this case, I wanted to select the phone. I didn't really want the subject in the picture. I actually wanted the whole phone. So it won't select it that way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the actual quick select tool, and you just paint down it. And this isn't the tip either. This is all leading up to the tip, but I thought that to tell you about the select subject thing is really good. All right, so there we go. Whoops, I missed this little spot down here. And so with the quick select tool, you just paint over stuff and it senses the edges. It's very smart. It's a very, very good tool, and I use it a whole bunch. All right, so now we have the phone selected. So I want to press Shift Option J. So it cuts it off there, and all I have is now the phone on its own separate background. I'm going to use Free Transform to make it smaller. We're almost to the tip. I know it's just a long story. Okay,
Oh, that's so cool.
did you just try
I just
it?
tried it. Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna keep that checked. Can you
Well,
just
it
keep it checked?
unchecks. It unchecks.
Oh man.
I know.
I wish there could be like default
no,
to that.
You have to choose it every time. And a lot of times you don't need it. If it's something
Yeah, that's
simple.
true. That's true.
But if I try select subject and it doesn't work and I go choose detailed, it almost always is like, I can't believe it.
Wow.
It's that good. All
Blew
right.
my mind. Anyways. Sorry.
I'm just glad I showed you something new. Okay. Now are we ready for my tip?
Yes.
Here we go. So it's a very simple, very popular tip. And this is going to be 2 tips and 3 tips in one.
Right.
Step 1 is we're going to duplicate the layer. We're going to turn this upside down. We're going to flip it. We're going to go to Free Transform and choose Flip Vertical. All right. Now, we're going to drag it down to where the bottoms touch. So it creates a reflection. And if you lower the opacity, it creates a more realistic reflection. You could leave it at that, right? And that's what Apple, but Apple takes it one more step further.
One more step.
They're going to hit the layer mask icon. You're going to get the gradient tool and make sure you just have a standard foreground to background gradient. We're going to drag up and it just fades away. See how it fades off into the background? All right, so that's that. Now, where else can you use this? Let's go over here. You've got a subject in the studio, just on a white seamless paper is what I shot her on. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to select all the way to her feet, not the feet, the bottom of her shoes. I'm going to press Command J and put just that part up. Then you're going to do the exact same thing I just did with the phone. Flip it vertical, drag it down, and when the feet touch, right, you're going to lower the opacity, and then she's standing on an acrylic.
Yeah.
And you can either fade it away. I'm going to erase that little part here. Let's add a layer mask. And just, you can see it's overlapping by just a tiny bit on that one shoe.
Yeah,
Boom,
but
done.
boom, done.
And you've got this acrylic. Now, we used to actually buy sheets of acrylic from Lowe's. We have a Lowe's right by the office. We would buy this big sheet of acrylic, and it wasn't expensive. 3/4 inch acrylic, like $20, $25.
Yeah, you can get like a big 4x8 sheet.
The problem is when after someone steps on it a few times, now you're in Photoshop trying to take out all the scratches in the floor. But anyway, so I'm going to give you one last little tip here. This one's packed full of tips.
And also, Scott, with that works well for landscapes for mirroring reflections as well.
Mirroring reflections and water and stuff like that. So the last tip is this. Hold the Command key on Mac, which would be the Control key if you're on PC, and click on the phone. You're going to create a new layer, and you're going to fill it with white. And that's the end of the trick. No, we got one more step. You're going to go get the polygonal lasso tool or the polygonal lasso tool if you're a nerd. And you're going to make a reflection in the glass. So we're going to erase all of that. We'll make a selection, hit delete, and then you just lower the opacity for this white fill, and it creates that reflection in the glass. And you want it to be very subtle. There you go, something like that.
Nice.
So it's just a combination of little tips that you can do.
And those are those little things, those little finishing moves, that sell it. Just like removing leaves from a landscape, or adding, different glow or something to it.
Speaking of that, let's go look at some more images.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we've got. I got way off course there.
Ah, that was awesome though. I learned something totally new. That was awesome.
I'm going to warn you about this next one. I'm going to warn you before we get there.
Okay.
These are really, really good.
Oh, golly.
Look at this one.
Oh, my gosh. See, you hit select subject. It's going to pick that church.
Yes, it is. You're not even going to need to go to details.
My eye just immediately goes, oh, look at that. That's so cool. I want to be there.
Well, first, you've got...
And the light conversion.
It's all there. This
just,
is like such a saleable image, right? It's just, you could see it hanging.
Little sky, like I could do something, that gray, that weirdness in the blue in the sky. It's not bad, but we could work on it.
Look at this one.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
And... look at that.
Now, you've definitely mastered the far away, like house structure, but simplified in the frame enough to where it sucks you into it.
These are terrific.
The first and the last one, oh my gosh.
The other one's really nice too. The middle one's nice.
It doesn't have a prominent it's just a nice scene.
I don't know, this rock
is there, and that rock does draw me in, but not as well as those two houses.
Other two others are ridiculous. These are so good.
Boom. That's what you see.
That is like, these are so good. These are just beautiful, beautiful images. Isn't that gorgeous?
I want to be there. I want to see. Well, and that's what I love about this. Tell the story of like, look at that mood. I could imagine being there.
I know. I don't want to show my wife that. She'll want to move there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
We'll just RV at a camp next to it and then go there in the morning.
RV and camp next to it. All right, that's very nice. All right, let's go and see what we have here. I'm getting like profile warnings, but I don't know why. It's just. All right, here we go. Let's take a look. Looks like high school sports, shooting it like it's pro sports.
Yeah,
that's really nicely done.
I love
you
that.
got like a peak moment of action. You've got her in midair. You've got the whole scene in there.
You got the scoreboard. You got the clock.
Got
this
the logo.
The logo's in a great spot. What you're shooting, that's good.
What was it? Oh, I don't see that. I was hoping to see what kind of lens it is. Not a fisheye. But that's like a 13 or a 14. It's an ultra wide.
Yeah.
I love this shot. Just love, love, love it. And then look at this next one. Look at this one. That's really nice. Really nice. Because I love the wideness of it. It's almost like a pano of a golf tournament. And her pose and the color of the orange against the green is just I think that's a tremendous shot.
Because of the slope, sometimes we say like the crookedness, but the slope, because it's a golf course, I immediately know it's a golf course. And
she's on the green. The green's usually elevated.
And they do that. Yeah.
And then, I don't know what happened here. Ooh. This looks like a completely different photographer took this shot.
That's the anomaly.
Like this shot and this shot are on one level, and this is like a snapshot with a pig. It's a big pig too. You don't want to make him angry.
You blur the background on it and make it better.
Not
much better, but it'll make it better.
It'll make it 25% better. 25%. It's not going to get you where you need to be. It just is missing what your other shots have. It's like not even in the same
it's just
class.
Not in the same class, yeah. It's like a different photographer shot it, like Scott said.
Yep.
Yeah, see. That did a bad job.
Yeah, it didn't actually get her. She should be a little out. He should be a little out.
Yeah, didn't get it.
Yeah, but you can do that yourself. But it's not going to help. You can see it's not going to make a difference. It's just all the wonderful composition that's in these other ones. This one feels very tight. The pig snout is at the edge of the frame. It's uncomfortable. It's everything.
So the other two shots, these are more photographs, and the
they're
first
like
shot is like
a snapshot,
or just like documenting the process, like a photojournalism, but it's like not really like great. It's just
that's a big pig.
It's good.
All right, now we do see a lot of flower shots on the grid. We get a lot of them. We get a lot of aviation. We get a lot of flowers. I think this is absolutely beautiful.
That is
with
beautiful.
one exception.
Yeah, you just need to clean up that one pedal. That pedal needs to come in. We got to bring that pedal in.
This is such. I think this is such a great shot. I mean, you know what it is? The clarity and the detail and the color, the yellow and the purple work so well together.
And I love how they caught
I need a pedal here.
Those purple flowers on the edge that made that diffusion in the front because of how they focused over here. Or if they even added that, they did a good job of just adding that violet.
Pardon me. I just added. Oh, my throat is so dry. I used the quick selection tool to grab that pedal. Right. This is just a 5-second fix, but you got to rotate it. You got to hide it behind the other pedal. So then go to the background layer, select this pedal. Again, go here and knock it out. Whoop, wrong one. Knock it out like that. So there's some depth. And then I think you're going to have to put a tiny shadow under it. A very, very, very subtle shadow. But there should be one back there at
just barely
5%, right in there. That's 9%. So, but look at what the difference the shadow does. Give it dimension, right?
Yeah, because if you look at all the other pedals, you see how it does it on the pedal right below it. That you got to add those little details.
Yeah, but I'm telling you what. Now I think you got to rotate that other pedal too. That I think we're going to have to rotate them both now because and my mask won't be right, but I think it needs to be rotated a little bit more. And now you got to remask it and stuff, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I'm telling you what, I see
turn off those two layers, and you'd see night and day, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you wouldn't because you.
But the colors and everything. The only thing is, this is distracting. Kind of back here.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to remove it. I don't know what to do there, but it's such a lovely picture.
It's really good. Yeah.
This one is a very lovely picture. Look, it's like a macro up close. You're seeing lots of detail and beautiful color.
That's a good shot of the back of a flower. Usually you don't see a good shot of the back of a flower.
However, this is just meh.
It's good.
It's all right.
It's not the first one. The first one,
fabulous.
First one, once you put in that
really
pedal,
good. It's all right. It's kind of like The Last Photographer, where you have two shots that are really outstanding, and then one in the
that's
middle
kind of like
that you're kind of like,
Yeah. So we do have a question. Will's asking, Eric Scott, are you going to the Fort Lauderdale Air Show? I am not planning on it.
I don't think so.
I'm not planning on it, but maybe. We'll see.
You never know.
You never know.
We pop up in weird places.
Yes, we do.
All right, let's take a look at these. Yep. All right, here we go. So this is really interesting because they're doing a lot of things right here, but I think with a little bit of work, you can really take these out. These are good because
they've cleaned up a lot.
They've
cleaned up a lot because these are cars.
Yep. a lot of car photography that you see like this has a lot of reflections and weird stuff in it, and they've cleaned it up. You have very simple lines. It's nice and clean. They're shooting at the right time of day. They got rid of the tag. This is a very nice, clean shot. If you could shoot it from a lower angle, that would help. But really, a metal building behind it, Now, if that was some cool concrete art, like a side of a museum or something, and I know what you're going for, but this metal shed isn't getting it done.
Yeah, but the only thing
Here it is again.
Again, that last shot versus this shot, the metal shed had at least a direction that it was going.
Yeah, no,
with the car.
it was compositionally correct.
Compositionally there.
It's just that's not the background.
But then you
you're
go to
looking
the last one, you shot them at the same place, and that metal background is not helping.
It's not working, and you've got a reflection of another metal, so you would have to, You've also got a blown out sun, and it looks like is that a power line?
Or it's something with there's a weirdness there. Like that's
I don't know what that
is. Oh, is that? It looks like
I don't know.
Well, we can remove that in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, we can remove that. But I think the bigger problem here is this reflection. You're seeing the whole building reflected in there. And look, so when there isn't that bad reflection and what you're seeing is sky and the ground, it looks really nice. But this tiger skin here is a mess. So you got to get rid of that. And you were able to do that there, and there's the third car here. This one, unless the paint job is flat, and I don't think it is, this one is really lacking it's lacking the shininess, and the front looks distorted. Like it looks like you got up close with a wide angle lens, so the front looks elongated. I mean, this is like a Porsche 911.
Well, you can see it also has an effects package that puts that out even farther.
Yeah, but it's looking elongated.
So then you've made it even more long. There's a little bit of that, the lens, position.
Let me go here. Because it just doesn't look shiny. Like the car doesn't look really shiny. It looks a little shiny here, and then it looks like flat.
It looks like it has a matte finish.
I don't think it is a matte finish.
But it doesn't, because it has that reflection.
I'm going to hit select subject, and there's the car. And I'm going to see if I can make it shiny. One of the tricks to making things shiny is to go down here and use clarity. Clarity helps make things shiny. And even that's not making it shiny. Let me go and hit some contrast on it. This also sometimes it's getting shinier.
Yeah.
And I like the color.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I like all of that. But do you see how flat it was?
Yeah.
It's not as shiny as it needs to be. I don't know if we lost, but this one's doesn't have the tiger skin. It's got the smooth look to it. You don't have a bunch of stuff reflecting in it. So you're doing so many good things right. You're shooting at the right time of day. Now, there is in automotive photography a weird kind of rule that somebody has caught me on a number of times. Is if you're shooting like that, if you're shooting down low, you're supposed to see a third or fourth wheel, and you're only seeing two. So, I don't know. I'm thinking.
But sometimes those rules are made to be broken, I think, too.
I know.
And then, turning the wheels and there's all these different things.
Yeah, and I would have turned the wheel, too. But those are all nitpicky. I like that you're getting the cleanliness out of the car. Like, it's clean. Mm-hmm. I really do like that. So, I'm thinking you're doing pretty good here. You're doing a lot of stuff right. So, I don't want to be critical. I don't want to be too critical because I think.
So there's one thing I see in the two photos, and this is just something I think you've done in both of those, not that photo, the other two. I think you've done sky replacements or some kind of high horizon replacements that don't look real, like the edges of the sky and how that, and if you go to the other one. Yeah, it just
kind of blurs.
And if you go to the other one, you see how that feather there and like that, and then the trees, it doesn't look realistic. Like right here,
and right there. You might need to work on that a little bit.
But again, that's not like the main thing.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on this reflection of a steel building. So and you know what? Finding a great location to shoot a car is really tough. This is why so many people shoot them on the roof of parking garages and inside parking garages to get that modern looking, clean look. You see, and they'll do it in front of art galleries and different stuff. It's tough. Yeah, I like the vehicles you're shooting. I think you could get lower with this one. I kind of like the angle. This one looks like you got pretty low. This one, I think you're shooting from too high an angle. And also, it's not this is not the most redeeming angle of this car. And this is it. You're seeing the distortion again.
Yeah.
It's not, it's the back looks distorted. And if BMW was showing this on their site, they wouldn't show this picture with parts of the car looking distorted.
Yeah.
You're just too close with a wide angle lens. You don't have lens compression, and it's kind of making the butt look big. It's just, I don't know how else to say it. But you're so close.
Right.
You're so close. All right. We're going to whip through a few more of these, or we saw those already. This one, I'm going to count this as 3 pictures. We're supposed to do 3, but they sent like 2 in one document. But this looks like the before picture on the left.
And the after. Yeah.
It looks like this is where we were setting up, and this is what we created. I like what you created over here.
I like the one on the right, yeah.
The one on the right, she's got an interesting look, you know, an interesting facial expression.
It's weird because the lighting is reversed, though, on the left. You see how, like, the left, like, it's...
Yeah, lighting was coming from over here.
Yeah. Well,
so sure. I really like that one. And then there's another one, looks like it's taken in the same place. It's kind of interesting light. She's lit, and then part of her leg and her dress is lit. I love that this is blue back here. There's a lot of good things happening here. I love the direction that you're going in, like a steampunk kind of portrait.
Yeah.
Kind of like it. And I like the location a lot. I think there's a lot that can be done here, and I think you're working on it. So good job. I think you're on your way.
So we do have to take a break now.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Network called
break time?
Break
Gotcha.
time. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. We've got prizes.
And
we've got
trivia.
A trivia question.
Trivia.
And we're going to buzz through a bunch of critiques here.
So you went to Tuscany, but that's a region in Italy?
It is a region in Italy that is amazing because it kind of mixes travel and landscape, and you come back with these images that are so unique to that area. And Larry, the first time I went to Tuscany, spent 10 days there, I kind of bombed. I was very disappointed with what I came back with, and you know why? Because I wasn't staying in the right area and I didn't know the right places to go. And that's why I did another class in my series. I want to show you where to shoot in the Tuscany region of Italy. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at how to get around, where to stay, where to shoot, what lenses to use, what time to shoot. We're going to go through all these different things.
So you go into locations there, right?
Of course. In fact, I'm going to have a downloadable PDF where people can actually go and know exactly where to go. It's got all kinds of information.
So it's all the tourist locations?
No, Larry, these are the good locations.
Secret locations?
Yeah, you'll see the tourists over there and you'll be over someplace else.
So, do you have any other behind the scenes tips and tricks?
Oh, I got lots of them. I want to set you up for success. So when you come back, you've got the best pictures you've ever made. These are going to be pictures that make your friends and your neighbors jealous. It's going to make them hate you. You're probably going to wind up with no friends or neighbors after this trip because that's the kind of shots you're going to come back with. So come and catch my brand new class. It's called Travel Photography, a photographer's guide to Tuscany.
So did you bring a bag lunch or was the food any good there?
Food was okay. I'm not real big on food, but it was all right. It's Italian food. You know what they call Italian food in Italy?
What?
Food. Just call it food. But let me tell you what, they should call it something else because it's crazy.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we are back. Lots of good questions and comments. I'm going to set you up for one here, Mr. K. Daniel asked, question for Scott, but Eric's going to show you it. I just wish that this select subject cloud would always be on. I have to select it all the time. Well, we didn't know if it was a preference, but Stu is our entire studio audience today. Stu says, I think you can set it in the preferences. And we went and looked, and son of a gun. Eric, show them where it's at.
So right here. So if you, well, let me get out of this. If you go over here and you go to your preferences, and then you go down to image processing, right? Right here, select subject processing, and you can just default it to the cloud and hit
Which
OK.
I just did, and Eric just did.
We just did, and there you go.
Stu for the win.
Stu for the win.
Hats off to Stu. Well done. All right. So what else is there? Martin says, is it true that a wet road also enhances car photos? It can. So, Martin, there's a lot of people that will take a hose or take a big bucket of water and pour it down to get a reflection. So it makes the road look shiny, and the shininess reflects the car better. So you'll see the wheels, reflected and all that, the tires, not the wheels, the tires reflected. And so, yeah, there are people that are very big. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to see every shot has a wet road, but it is certainly a popular option.
And along those lines, because I like to cross-train, that same technique works with travel photography if you're in cities. Like after a rain, and especially at night in cities when there's a lot of water on the road, you get natural reflections. So same thing.
Jesse's got a comment here, and he says, Eric is absolutely right. By the way, Jesse, Eric asked if you would just tweet those first 4 words. Just tweet that.
Yes.
So he says, Eric is absolutely right. Most of my toy photography techniques, which he is an ace.
He is.
Ace
if
toy
you don't
photographer.
follow his stuff, follow his stuff.
You got to follow him. Most of my toy photography techniques come from other genres: product photography, portrait, macro, landscape, aviation. It's incredibly valuable to step outside your genre and take in as many tips and techniques as you can from all of photography. Jesse's absolutely right.
I am a firm believer in that, because when I started in rocket photography, there's not a single person like teaching you that stuff.
Nope.
It's all pulling from all these other places to put it together.
All right, let's take a look. Well, now there is. Eric's teaching it. All right, here we go. Let's look on screen real quick. 1, 2, 3. So these are okay, but it's not you. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's your subject. Your subject's not giving you anything. This is what Peter Hurley calls a blank stare. They're just looking straight at the camera. There's no emotion. They're not giving you, it's not happiness, it's not sadness, it's not smirky, it's not angry, it's just, I'm looking at the camera. And your subject has somewhat of a round face. So it's a bit round, which is not that photogenic. And I'm sorry if this is your daughter, your girlfriend, your partner, your whatever. I like what you're doing photographically. I think with a different subject, these might be really great. I like the moodiness you're trying to do here with the shadows going across the face, and you have to look at it on my screen. It's a lot better here than we're seeing the monitor.
Yep.
And I like what you're trying to do. This is a subject-based issue you have here. You get the right subject in there, and it makes all the difference in the world. It makes all the difference in the world. And I talk about this a lot, how important your subject is. And the subject's not giving you anything. I don't think your subject, in person, your subject is probably very attractive. They don't photograph as well as they probably look in person.
Yes, and it's because we see in 3 dimensions. The camera sees in 2 dimensions. And the focal length changes the people's faces and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's the one though that this one in the middle there has the most mood around it, to where you'd be like, well, maybe you would have that look of just like.
Except for, did you notice the shoes? They did selective
I know.
color.
That's where you lost me on this one.
You lost us there.
You lost me on that one.
But overall,
I'm just trying to look for the, and then that's the positives here. camera settings, technique, like all that's
Focus.
good. Yeah, focus. We're all good there. It's just getting down to those things that really matter in portrait photography, and that is posing, framing, composition, lighting. It's all those things.
It's the emotion, because you can have not great lighting. You can have not great lighting. You can have not great composition, all,
and
but
you get
if
that
the
right
subject
moment.
is giving you something. This is, I think, the best of the three, and it's still not.
So it's what Jay calls gesture. You have no gesture. There's nothing there.
There's none of those three.
And
there's not light. There's not color.
But Peter Hurley would be a good one to watch. You know, like the Kelby one, like how he gets out that those gestures
kind of
out of people.
Emotion. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna look just a couple more. We're just about done here. Here we go. Take a look real quick.
Ooh.
You know what I like about these? You can tell the same person did all the post-processing.
Yes,
it looks like the same
consistent.
photographer, the same stuff. But unfortunately, it's 3 shots that you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I was in Washington. I was in New York. I was wherever this is.
I would tell you that one and the Washington one, I think would be really good if they were just a lot longer too.
Yeah, longer exposure would help.
But again,
at
the
end of the day,
composition is
they're just kind of meh.
They're it's all right.
They're just all kind of okay. Yep, that's the street.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the street in New York. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing remarkable about it. It's like, yep, that's the street in New York with cars on it.
Yeah, we've been there
on a sunny day.
Right there.
Yep, that's another street. There's a street.
They're not bad though.
They're not
really
bad.
good.
They're not bad. I like your
Like,
post processing.
they're
I
good.
like that you're doing. I mean, don't get me wrong on this.
Yeah.
This is about finding something more interesting. These are all just kind of. They're like, I was there. I was right there at the Lincoln Memorial. Check. Or that's the.
Well, and you're trying to bring in the Washington Monument and the memorial. Like, it's just you got to find a different composition on there.
Yeah. There's a composition there that'd be really interesting,
It's
and
just
that's
not
just kind of Same thing here. You went to the right place,
but it's just not the right composition for that, because I've seen shots from that place.
Yeah,
I know exactly where that bridge is. I mean,
yep, it's an overpass. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think we went there when we did that. Where to shoot in New York?
Yeah.
It's one of the spots.
Is that it? Do we have another one? Oh wait, you know what? Hang on one second.
Well, while you're looking out there, we got to give away some prizes, right? So let's do the trivia.
Trivia, do the trivia
time.
Trivia time.
All right, so before we give away the prizes, we're going to do the trivia question, and this person is going to win a copy of, I believe, On One Effects 2023, right, Christina? That's right. There we go. So the question is, when the iPhone was released, the first generation iPhone in 2007, what was the resolution of the camera, the back camera? That was it. So we'll see who wins that prize. What was the resolution? Just in the chat, Christina's going to pick the first person who gets it right. All right, and as far as prizes, we have the Platypod disc is going to Roger Gregstone. We have Mike G is winning the Light It, Shoot It, Retouch It book. Then we have Malcolm Ritter winning the Travel Photography book. And then Hale Khan winning the V-Flat from V-Flat World. If you are a winner, just go ahead and, we have a trivia winner as well. The trivia winner is John Gerard. So, and the answer to that
What
was
is the answer?
The answer, 2 megapixels.
2 megapixels.
Amazing. It's 2007, 2 megapixels. The one that just released, 48 megapixels. And honestly, I mean, 12, 24, 48, they're all good. But 2, it was a big step up. So we've gone a long way since then. And all right, so if you won that, just email us over at gridprize@kelby1.com. We'll verify information, and then we'll send out your prize.
Okay, real quick, we're going to look at a couple real fast.
All right.
Take a look at this one, because Eric's got to go. Take a look at this one. I really like this, except for you can see the edges of what he was sitting on. But
that's
I'm going
easy.
to duplicate the layer and switch it to multiply mode. It just needs to be,
Yeah,
the darks need to be darker and all that. So and you could just go to in Lightroom or Camera Raw. I don't need that. Thank you. I need this. You could darken the exposure and then bring up the highlights. Oops, move it. Yeah. It needs more contrast. There we go. So you see what I mean? But it's just like overlit on the other side.
Yeah.
I think maybe some whites in there. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what it is getting there, where it's like it's got more of that definition now.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that I think would make for just a stronger overall picture. Now you've got another one here. It's not bad, but all I see is chair.
Yeah.
Because I like what the idea is. You're throwing the water in there and you got a cool pose. The chair is not happening.
Yeah, it's
like
one.
an auditorium chair
Yeah.
there. It just seems out of place.
It does.
So, but I like what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
This one I think is pretty good. It's just suffering from what the other shot was coming from, and it's this is
but look
not
at that
too naughty or
curve.
anything. Nice curve.
That's a nice
and
curve.
Go in here with the highlights and accentuate that. It's too dull. It's just barely there. So bring up the highlights even just a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
just a little bit like that. That
just
does
a little
it.
bit makes a big difference.
Yeah. That's
all right. So
interesting.
that's nice though. I like
you're doing some interesting stuff with like trying and oh man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like
it.
It's very dramatic and dark, and I think that's really cool. There was one other. Hang on. There's just one more I got to look at.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, like we're really drawn to that. Like when it's just different, it's interesting. Yeah, and that's the thing with photography. We want that kind of intriguing, different. Like what's the story here? What's going on here? This looks interesting.
There was one I wanted to show you that was very different than the rest. This one. This will be the last one. Look at
that is interesting.
Isn't that pretty? These are just like fine art, almost abstract. And I don't know whether they're long exposure or something you did
This looks
motion
like
blur.
a long exposure pan. So like you're at the beach and you just pan. I've done that before where you pan and you get these waves that kind of streak. Like that one doesn't look like it though. That one looks like more just like a kind of in between long exposure.
Yeah.
But you see how when you go to the other one, it kind of stretches. Like
I could see
that
these hanging in the wall of the
there.
Delta Club.
Yeah, those are good.
These I think they're very
love 'em.
nice. I think they're very pretty. They're very artistic.
And so say, what's the subject? On this, it's all about the color.
Yeah,
it's all
this
about
is
that abstract color.
Yeah.
And
I
it is
wanted
one
to
of those
see-
things.
I wanted to see, Eric, if you go to blur and go to motion blur.
Yeah, you could create that, yeah.
And you want to go in the direction of the waves here. Give it a second. That's probably a bit too much.
Yeah.
And my angle's not quite right. But so you can see it's just enhancing kind of. That makes it look more like the other ones. But still, I like what you're doing.
Still,
anyway.
that's pretty cool.
Anyway, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, golly, next week.
Yeah, next week,
on the grid,
we got a guest.
We got Frederick Van is here. He's going to be here next week. Great guy, great photographer, and a longtime friend of the show. He's going to be here. He's doing some classes for us here at Kelby One, so he'll be in town doing some stuff, and we're going to have him as our guest next week. What else?
He's also an instructor at the iPhone conference.
He's also an instructor at the iPhone conference. Thank you for mentioning that, Mr. K. Don't forget, join Eric and I in New York in May. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you can join us. Go to scottkelbyworkshops.com, and hopefully I'll see you in Utah.
Yep. And hopefully I'll see you in Utah or South Dakota or New York.
Who knows?
Or wherever.
Somewhere. Thanks,
or
everybody.
Sun and Fun.
That's or Sun and Fun. Thanks to our crew, and thanks to you all, and thanks to our sponsors. Catch you guys next week with Frederick Van. Take care, everybody.